My journey's been almost a lifetime coming. With wire, people get really afraid of it and worried that if they go left, oh my God, it's wrong. You're never wrong. Not in this medium. You are not wrong. In my family, it was my grandmother on my dad's side. She was my kind of creative drive that sparked all that interest in me. I think sometimes the schools don't go broad enough with the arts and show kids that there's more than just painting and drawing. It was my grandmother coming forward and showing me other things like crocheting and knitting. I used to make soft sculpture out of nylons, little people. I'd make puppets and put on puppet shows as a child. Everything like that came from my grandmother on my dad's side. When I was in my 20s, I was subjected to dollhouse miniatures, so 1/12 scale. So I had a business in that, and anything under the sun you could make this size, I was making it. I was making food out of Fimo down to like little ham bones. It just fascinated me, scaling things down. And again, I'm a figure it out on my own kind of person, and then I teach it. And that was what I did. I taught little tiny paper flowers. Like I said, we would craft food, anything that people in that world needed to figure out, they would call me. I'd figure it out, and then I would teach a class in it. When I got into the jewelry industry, I'd never done jewelry. I wasn't a big jewelry wearer. Circumstances in my life, I ended up in Toronto, and I knew nobody. I was separated from my husband. I was moving on with someone else. And I was looking to meet people and find something to do to entertain myself. So I Googled jewelry making, and wire weaving came up. And that just kind of intrigued me. I think because it's so tactile and it's so different. It was something I'd never encountered myself before. So I went hunting for wire and bought what I could buy. There wasn't a lot of options up here. And I started. I'm the type of person that if I'm going to get into something new, I'm going to figure it out on my own. I like the deconstructing something and figuring it out myself. And to me, that's how I learn the best too. It was a long time before I felt that I had anything to show the world. And it was actually my spouse that really kind of pushed me gently to get out there. He actually went to a bead show with me in Toronto. And the reason I have a business is because of one woman. I walked into my first bead show, and she was at the very first table, and she's a lampwork glass artist. Her name is Marianne Helmond, and she owns MA Beads. And she literally grabbed across the table, grabbed my necklace and said, "Oh my God, who made that?" And she said to me that she was looking for someone that did wire, that she had this brilliant idea of something that she wanted to make. And would I be interested? I love collaborating because we all have our niches. She literally sent me hundreds of dollars worth of handmade glass because she's a lampwork glass artist. And she said, "Figure it out." And I was petrified. I didn't know what was in her head. I didn't know what she was looking for. I don't know her taste. I didn't know anything. I was stumped. I was scared. And she's like, "Oh my God, just make something. Don't worry about it." I think when you first start in anything that you're doing, you're figuring out what your voice is. And I think we're striving for that as artists. We want to be recognized for something. The thing with this piece, this was the piece I made, and you'll notice it says Fire Mountain Gems on it. She made the glass for this piece. This piece, it was all peacock parts that came apart, and it turned into a pair of earrings and a pendant. And I'm all about transformation jewelry that you can do a bunch of things with. And that's what this piece was all about. That's how her and I met. A month later, I did my first show. Why you should read my book is I've gone to more intermediate advanced. There's a lot on the market for beginners. And then I have my students that come up to me and go, "Okay, I've mastered kind of the beginning stuff. What now?" People are crying out for more advanced stuff. So that's what I went into in my book. How far can I push it? How big can I make it? how bold and in your face. I would love to see my pieces walk down a runway. To be able to do an off the wall runway extravaganza with pushing all the limits and what can I create, that's my ultimate dream.
Mm-hmm.